Good evening, one and all. Welcome to Leaders Connect, an online leadership community, episode 38, where leaders create more leaders, organized by the Mass Leadership. My name is Yugandhar, currently working in Everest IMS Technologies as HR executive. Leaders Connect is started with the specific objective of creating 1,000 plus leaders, where all the working professionals, business people share their real time challenges, either leading self, leading others, or leading the business. On our website, www.themaskleadership.com, we see all the challenges, filter them, and every week on Wednesday, we invite a top management leader from a corporate company who will be giving solution for our real time challenges on leadership. That's when we call leaders create more leaders. Currently, all are muted, and we will be giving you an opportunity to speak to our guest, Dr. Anuj Kakar, President and Executive Director, Aptech Limited. But before that, let me also share that we are currently live on Facebook, and this episode is being recorded. So, are we all ready to interact to our guest on the topic, unleading to lead? Then please type S in the chat box if you are ready. Thank you. Before the introduction of the guest, let me also take the privilege to introduce founder of the Leaders Connect, Mr. Prakash Sharma, who will have interaction with our guest today.
Thank you very much for the quick introduction, Yugender. That's really great. And we welcome our guest today, Dr. Anuj Kakar, who is going to be keeping a very interactive session today. I'm sure all the members who all are here today, week after week, we have been coming and learning from different top management leaders. And today is going to be a very different episode where Anuj Kakar is going to take us in a different mode. So let's be prepared. I would request all the members and the visitors who are here for the first time to kindly turn on your videos because this is going to be a very interactive episode as well, right? So over to you, Yugender. Kindly share a brief introduction or profile about Mr. Dr. Anuj, and then we will start the episode. Go ahead, Yugender.
Now it's a privilege to introduce about our guest of honor of the week, Dr. Anuj Kakar, Executive Director and President, Aptech Limited. Dr. Anuj is President and Executive Director and a member of Board of Aptech Limited. In his executive role, he is responsible for individual learning and skill development business lines for Aptech. Dr. Kakar heads the business lines of Aptech, both for India and international. Under his stewardship, he has continuously helped power the company's rapid growth worldwide in over 35 countries, developing the business in countries across 4 countries and culturally as diverse as India, Vietnam, Middle East, and Nigeria. Over the last 3 decades, through this and similar initiatives for building employability and skill development, he has impacted millions of lives, especially the youth of the developing and underdeveloped world. By virtue of his long experience, strategic foresight, and achievements, Dr. Kakar is well represented stalwart of training and skill building industry. He is recipient of the Indira Super Achiever Award, which recognizes his contribution to talent, competence, skill building. He is graduate electronics engineer from Indian Institute of Technology and a postgraduate from Indian Institute of Management, Kolkata, two of the most premier institutes of higher learning and research in India. He is married to Miss Archana and has 2 sons. He is passionate about history, culture, poetry, and books.
Great.
Over to you, Prakash.
Thank you very much, Yugender. That's a quick, a very nice introduction. And members and the visitors who are here today, kindly type in welcome Dr. Anuj Kakar so that he is here with us. So welcome Dr. Anuj Kakar for our episode Leaders Connect. Thank you very much for coming in, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, it's been very great. So all things are good, I believe, and really great that you have been participated here with us. So today, the different topic, unlead to lead. So unleading to lead, how is it is what we are going to discuss here, members, with our guest, Dr. Anuj Kakar. So before we get into the topic, let me ask Dr. Anuj a quick question. There are different people have different views about what's their take on leadership. So with your experience being here, maybe understand what's your take on leadership and how a leadership roles. So what is that?
Firstly, thanks, Prakash, and thanks again for that introduction. It's
Yes,
wonderful to be here with you as well as your members. And thanks to all your members for having joined in this evening. As
yes.
regards as your question is concerned, see, most of us, when we look towards leadership or towards a leader, we look for things like inspiration, with things like somebody to motivate us. So inspiration and motivation are two most commonly used attributes when
Yes.
we talk about here any leader for that matter.
Mm.
But leadership, as we all know, really goes beyond these uh, very obvious attributes.
Okay.
Some common attributes would be like, let's say, any leader will give some direction
Okay.
to the company, to the situation, to the country. He will also exercise some control. So he doesn't want the ship to go haywire, right? So there is some degree of control he
True.
exercises. Then he has an intention to influence people through
True.
whatever mechanisms are available to him. So there is another attribute which comes in as that he has to exercise some degree of influence.
Correct.
He is also endowed with some authority, by
Mm.
whatever be the source of that authority. So he has some authority. And all this, at the end of the day, he is also exercising some responsibility for an end
True.
result.
Yes.
So when you're looking at leadership, you have to really look at as a amalgamation of many, many different attributes.
True.
Uh, Becoming a leader is really not as mysterious or even as difficult as it is made out to be.
Mm.
Uh, in fact, we are all leaders. We all lead and follow in different situations all the time.
True.
Sometimes we succeed, sometimes we don't succeed, or sometimes we succeed partially. Be that as
Yes.
it may, we are all leaders in different situations and different points of time.
Correct.
Like, for example, by virtue of the fact that you have invited me here and all your members have tuned in and you have handed over the mic and podium to me, in one sense, I'm in a leadership situation of this group for the next
True.
hour or so. Now, I,
Correct.
as the leader, have been given the freedom to decide the control and the flow. I decide what you will hear. Uh,
True.
I also feel I have some degree of authority in directing the actions. Occasionally I may ask the members to put something in the chat window. So this
Yes.
is some degree of authority has been endowed onto me. And your expectation from me has led to my responsibility of in some way communicating to the members that I have to influence them in some way, either them or their mind. So I'm carrying that responsibility as well.
Mm.
To
True.
what end? So there's an end result that we all expecting that at the end of this 1 hour, we all hope to have gained something. Otherwise, it's an hour
Yes.
wasted of our life, right?
Correct.
So, so a leader's task or a leadership in any role is an all-encompassing behavioral aspect, quite different or much more than, let's say, just an inspiration or a motivation, which of course are great attributes to have. Um,
True.
and also, you need to understand that once we become conscious that we've been placed into a leadership situation,
Mm.
we act reflexively. We don't go back and refer to any talk, or we don't or what inputs we have received in what forum. uh, we just observe, we analyze, and we move ourselves up through
Mm.
that process one step higher in our leadership process, right? Yeah,
True.
in
Right.
some way we have imbibed some of the things which we have learned over our entire life, but
Mm.
that's not how we actually lead in practice. We are not remembering all the talks that we have heard, all the people that we have listened to. So leadership, to my mind, is a process. It's a process of observation. It's a
Mm.
process of facing those situations, being conscious of your leadership role in that situation,
Okay.
seeing the results of your own behavior, whether you succeeded, you didn't succeed. And this process of self-development, to my mind, is a far more engaging and far more practical way of building
Sure.
leadership. So you are developing yourself as a leader.
Yes.
The ownership is on you. For example, your byline is of your forum is leaders get other leaders, something like that, right?
Yes. Leaders create more leaders.
Other
That's right.
leaders
Yes.
create other leaders.
Yes.
So obviously you are recognizing that all of us are leaders, right, in some way.
Yes. Correct.
And I would, it would argue that it is more on the part of the people who are becoming a leader to
Correct.
see how to become a better leader from
Better.
whatever they are or in
Yes.
whichever direction they want to be.
True.
And in a practical, you don't have to ape anybody. You don't have to be like anybody. You have to just be like yourself, but go on improving yourself step by step.
Perfect.
So that's my take on leadership.
Great. Great. Wonderful to listen to your respective take based on your experience, Mr. Anuj Kakar. Really like the point which you said. Leadership itself is a process. It's a huge process of could be more of observing self, more of taking ownership, and such points you're talking about. Definitely, you did highlight about most of the powerful qualities like responsibility, ownership, authority. Good points. But definitely, all this we're aware. But as you rightly said, one point is the process of observing self, which is very light by me. Thanks very much, Dr. Anuj. So let me share with you more points. Members and visitors who are here today, let me share. Today's topic is unlead to lead. That means we as a leader also should be understanding that we all need to listen, we need to learn, and we also need to be knowing when to lead and also when to make other people lead. And that's one of the important role of a leader. So I will leave now the space to Dr. Anuj, who would want us to, who is looking for us to take through how do we unlead ourselves so that we become more capable to lead others. And it's very necessary to unlead. So the next half an hour, because Mr. Anuj has some certain aspects of how can we unlead leaders. So over to you, Dr. Anuj, for the next 30 minutes. You have, and we go by the way you are. And members, let me share with you, kindly turn on your videos as well as stay muted, but that will help us so that it's going to be an interactive session. And as and when Mr. Anuj says or asks a question, feel free to respond, share your views. It's going to be a much more learning experience to all. So,
Okay,
what do you, Dr. Anuj, to go ahead about unleading to lead?
Yeah, thanks, Prakash. When Prakash invited me to this forum, really, I knew nothing about it. I had not heard of the forum. So I asked him to let me know more about the forum, whom I would be addressing, what would be their expectations, what would be their backgrounds. He also sent me a link where I could view the talks which you have heard in the past by so many guests that you have had in the past. I went through many of these, and some of them are very interesting, and they covered a lot of distance. See, leadership is a topic on which so much has been written and so much has been spoken that I honestly feel that sometimes to say something new or something which has not been said before or something which has not been written before is at least beyond my capability. Okay. So, of course, I could add to the 7 habits, I could add to the 5 E's or 4 K's or whatever else there are, people talk about when they talk about leadership. Or I can tell you about this one great epiphany that I had when I was sleeping, when God came to me and revealed the secrets of how to become a leader, which now I have to somehow just communicate back to you and my job is done as a prophet. No, but all these methods have one key assumption built in. And that is that the speaker has known everything about leadership. And the only thing which remains now is to communicate it to the rest of the people. And voila, the rest of the people are better leaders now, hopefully. Unfortunately, I don't think it works quite that way.
True.
Firstly, why? My leadership style may not suit you, right? I may be a good leader, bad leader, but that's me. Does not mean by aping me or aping anybody else for that matter, or following the prescription, everybody has to become a better leader. So, you may admire and you may be inspired by some great leaders. That's fair enough. But you can't sometimes relate it to your situation.
True.
You know, sometimes the people who come to the podiums and talk, they're really, really great people. But then the distance that they have covered and from where some of us are, the distance seems so big that we are not able to relate. How do I reach there? I mean, the chasm is too big, the gap is too big. So, so I thought I will try it a little differently for this forum. But I'll require a bit of the cooperation of the members for doing this. See, what we will try and do in this, I'll not do too much of the talking. Okay, I'll be showing you a lot of things. It'll be more visual treats in a way. And we'll go through a series of examples of people who are in leadership situations. And we will together observe them, and we will together try and see what things we pick up differently or similarly from these people.
True.
If you guys are okay with this kind of format, is very different. So let's start. So what we'll be doing today is we'll be seeing a series of videos. And then after we see the videos, we'll talk through chat a little bit about the videos themselves. When you're watching these videos, there are obviously people there, people in leadership situations, and try and think of somebody try and look out for an attribute of that person. And then also in your mind, try and think of somebody, either yourself, your boss, your colleagues, even outside your professional life, somebody whom that person may remind you of, or that attribute of that person may remind you of. It'll help you categorize things better. Okay, just keep that in mind. So, firstly, all the people that I'm going to show you, they're immensely successful people. Okay, by virtue of selection. Okay, so I'm not talking about success. I'm talking about attributes and styles. I'm not saying that this is more successful than the other. We are not obviously trying to judge those leaders in any ranking. So with that, let's start with the video process. So Manish, could you help me? Manish is going to help me by playing the videos. So Manish, could you play the first two videos back to back?
Du meine Arbeit für richtig hältst, ob du glaubst, dass ich fleißig gewesen bin, dass ich gearbeitet habe, dass ich mich in diesen Jahren für dich eingesetzt habe, dass ich anständig meine Zeit verwendet habe im Dienste meines Volkes. Gib du jetzt deine Stimme ab. Wenn ja, dann tritt für mich ein, so wie ich für dich eingetreten bin.
Next video, Manish.
Second, yes. The second video also, Manish, continue.
तो परिवर्तन रैली का जवाब देना था तो पटना में हुई स्वाभिमान रैली। लालू यादव ने आज पीएम मोदी पर जमकर निशाना साधा। आपको दिखाते हैं रैली में लालू का गुस्सा, लालू की हंसी और लालू का प्रहार।
महंगाई के जमाने में, सोनिया जी के समय में हम थे, उसमें सोनिया जी के मंत्रिमंडल में तब प्याज के दाम बढ़ गया था। प्याज के तब प्याज का माला बना करके बीजेपी वाला घूमता था। अब क्या हाल हो गया? मोदी जी बोलते हैं 40 रुपया किलो कर दूं, 60 रुपया किलो कर दूं, लो 80 रुपया किलो कर दिया। 40 रुपया किलो कर दूं, भाई और बहनों 80 रुपया कर दिया।
So, friends, if you can type on the chat, what are the attributes? There's a common attribute between the two which I'm looking for. Which attribute of their leadership style or leadership quality that it reminds you of?
Okay.
Anybody?
So then the chat box are coming.
Emotion, energy, great Lakshmi. waiting for a few more, then I'll carry on.
Both are great orators. There's one more point that has come.
Both are great orators, great. Shouting and humor, not much of humor in Hitler though, but yes. Yeah. Able to convince people hearing. Yeah. So obviously oratory and the ability to speak,
Yes.
to convince, is an attribute which is good to have in a leadership context, right? So that's the point which obviously it comes out. And if you see leaders, political leaders particularly, they come across as good orators. Let me have a look at video 3.
Okay.
अल्लाह उसको स्वराज मिल गया। मेरी व्याख्या की स्वराज में तो हम एक दूसरे को भाई भाई समझकर बैठे। हमारे दुश्मन कौन हो सकते हैं? हम तो दुनिया में किसी को दुश्मन बनाना नहीं चाहते, हम किसी को दुश्मन बनना नहीं चाहते। वो मेरे स्वराज की व्याख्या बन जाती। बता दिया था कि मैं महात्मा कहाँ, लोग कहें कि तू महात्मा है, ऐसे में महात्मा थोड़ा हो सकता। मैं कहाँ ऐसा भी कोई मिरेकल कर सकता, जादू कर सकता, मेरे पास है ही नहीं, वो विद्या में सीखा नहीं। मैं तो जैसे आप ऐसे ही मामूली आदमी हूँ। आप मेरे में फर्क इतना है।
Yeah, so this is obviously Mahatma Gandhi. So what?
Yes.
Obviously, it's not great on oratory, right? I mean, if you listen to half an hour of this, you'll from an unknown person, you might go off to sleep.
Correct.
So what is the attribute here? So it's not oratory, but yet a great leader. So what is the attribute here? Polite, intention, great, trust, brilliant, empathy. All these are facets of Gandhi's personality.
True.
So obviously he is leading by force of his personality, which has deep meaning, and people are able to relate to that personality or that meaning, even if he's not a great orator. So obviously these are no attribute is a must-have attribute. But here again, I've chosen political examples, but you should, in your mind, correlate these to other people whom you admire or in your real life, to get the value out of today's session, and try and see whom does this person remind you of. There'll be some great orators, there'll be some people who have great personality and deep meaning in their life, who inspire you, motivate you, and you consider them as great leaders or good leaders, and whom you would like to emulate. But honestly, if I have to be honest to myself, I can never be a orator like a Hitler or Lalu or anything. I have no pretensions. Okay, I don't know. Some of you maybe, but not many of us have that innate quality to be able to do it. We can improve ourselves a little bit, but we get limited somewhere. And neither can we make claim to have, the kind of personalities, at least I can't, to be able to magnetize people to the extent that Gandhi can or some of the other great leaders can. So for the purpose of this study, this session, I decided to keep both these, nullify both these. I decided to go into unknown territory, probably with people whom you have seen for the first time, and who don't speak. So this is leadership without speaking. Just to take away these two attributes, otherwise they cloud everything else that we have to learn about leadership. Right? So only after you take away the obvious ones, otherwise you'll never be able to figure things out. So we have rest of the sessions are all going to be videos are going to be similar, and they're going to be non-speaking videos at all, yet leadership situations. Can we have the video 4, please? thanks, Manish. So this is obviously a video of a Western Classical Symphony Orchestra. I find a symphony orchestra a great metaphor for an organization, particularly a corporate organization. Okay. I know. Could you just type in? Have anybody of you seen a Western Classical Symphony Orchestra live? Or have you seen many videos of that? No, no. Most of us would be no, right? So let me just take a minute to explain what's happening. Okay, that's critical to the understanding of today's session. See, a symphony orchestra is a great music. That's the basis of Beethoven being Beethoven, Bach being Bach, because they are the great Western classical composers. Now, the orchestra has different sections. I mean, there are string instruments like the violin, the viola, the cellos. There are the what I call the woodwind section. There are the flutes, oboes, clarinets, the bassoons. Then there are the what I call the brass instruments like horn, trumpet, trombone. Then you have some percussion instruments such as drums and bass drums and cymbals. So these are different sections of the orchestra. Okay, you think of them as different departments of an organization. Okay, and there is this person whom you saw who is leading there with his hands.
Yes.
Okay, he is the conductor, and think of him as the CEO or the leader. What is his job? He doesn't play anything. He doesn't speak. Most of the people are not even looking at him. And you think he's teaching them to play the violin? No. So what is he doing? What gives him the leadership status? Okay, but yet he is the leader, and I'll explain why. So here there is no talk, yet there are great leadership examples to be learned through the metaphor of the symphony orchestra, just by observing them. There are the audience. I mean, ultimately this is being played to a hall people of audience. So they think of them as your customers. They are the ones who are paying money to come and be here and be entertained, right? And then there is the people who have written the music, the Beethovens, the Tchaikovskys, and the Bachs, and so they have already written the music, and they have long since dead. These people are playing their music, right?
Yes.
So conductors here, how do they lead? How are they leading this process? And this is where our learning comes in. Conductors are learning firstly by listening. They are, they know who's playing right, who's playing wrong. Their job is to harmonize the different sections of the orchestra to be able to produce music. Should these people be producing music separately, it will fail. That is not how Bach wanted his music to be played. That is not how Beethoven wanted his music to be played. So it is the job of the leader to be able to harmonize experts. I mean, each one of these guys who has spent his lifetime learning how to play the violin and the clarinet, and probably the conductor can't play any of those instruments. So likewise, the CEO may not be the best accountant or a best salesperson, but yet his job is to harmonize and lead by virtue of making sure that everything works in a particular fashion, in the desired fashion which it was laid down by Bach. Okay. We will explore a lot of the rest of the videos will mostly be these symphony orchestras. Okay, to be viewed by you in the context with the metaphor of the corporate organization and with this leadership. And those of you who think that these guys are not doing a job, there are various studies, and I can share the links with you there. The thing fails as music if the leader is not there. Okay, so even if those guys are not looking, you feel those guys are not looking at them, they look up at times at the right time to get the cues. They know, so that guy gives a cue. It's now you come in slowly. You know, there, and I will talk a little bit more about that in subsequent videos. Let's look at another very different one.
Okay.
They're all orchestras now.
दिल के झरोके में तुझको बिठाकर यादों को तेरी मैं दुल्हन बनाकर रखूंगा मैं दिल के पास, मत हो मेरी जाऊं उदास। दिल के झरोके में तुझको बिठाकर यादों को तेरी मैं दुल्हन बनाकर रखूंगा मैं दिल के पास, मत हो मेरी जाऊं उदास।
So obviously one can continue listening to this wonderful melody for the rest of the show.
Yeah.
But so what do you think? Who's the leader here on the chat?
The singer, is it? People are saying singer.
Okay,
Conductor.
singer, conductor. What about the Shankar Jaikishan, who wrote the music? So what about Rafi? Whose songs they are singing?
Yes.
What is their role in this whole process?
Good point, good point.
Unseen leaders, creators. Brilliant. I'm getting very interesting responses. The one who is instructing, they have said the process earlier, very rehearsing, very important. So the point to be understood through this is that, which all of you have brought, that there can be multiple leaders. In fact, there are multiple leaders in an organization. There does not need to be only one leader in an organization. There never is only one leader. A department head is a leader. A regional sales head is a leader. Which I didn't bring out. There are people when the orchestra is playing, when the violins come in. Let's say there is a person who cues in the violin section. So he is in a way cueing in the violin section. So a leadership is not only about that one guy who's sitting at the top. All of us are leaders. Okay. And unless all the leaders do the jobs perfectly, the end objective of creating music, or in our metaphor means running the company efficiently and beautifully, cannot be achieved. Therefore, it is important to understand the role and the styles of individual leaders. Now, did Sonu Nigam's style have to be the same as the conductor's style? No.
Okay.
See, this is one of the mistakes many of leaders make, or managers, let me use the word leader here, many managers make, is when they're recruiting. they want to recruit people who look like them, behave like themselves.
Mm.
You know, if you are articulate and good in English, you want to get everybody who articulate and good in English. If you are a salesperson, unless the person has aggression in him, you don't want to recruit him.
True.
Because you feel that you are a good, great leader, and therefore you want your clones. It's a very common HR mistake I've seen across organizations and across interview situation, where an interviewer is saying he is looking for things which he relates to. In fact, he should be looking for things which he does not relate to, because those skills are he anyway has. So Sonu Nigam doesn't have to be the greatest conductor, right? But Sonu Nigam has to be able to know which conductor to use, and conductor has to know which violins to use, and so on and so forth. You get the point. So, this is not unique. I don't lay claim to the subsequent videos originality at all. Actually, there's a great Israeli conductor called Itet Algam. He had come to Mumbai, where I stay, about 10-15 years back, and I used to go to watch symphony orchestras also. And so I borrowed a lot of content from his talk for the purpose of making these points to you. But we will try and put it into our context, and to be able to see what lessons we can derive from them. Now, when you look at the subsequent videos, I want to now zero in on the leadership, right? Now I've said, now you understand what symphony orchestras are there. You understood the metaphor. You understood that you have to be looking for somebody whom you know. All that you have understood. Now let's look at the next video. Look at the conductor and look at his mannerisms. So this guy is the Italian conductor, Riccardo Muti, one of the greats, director of the Chicago Symphony Orchestra, earlier the music director of La Scala in Milan. So great guy. Okay. So what do you think about his style of leadership, the conductors? Now we want to focus on the conductors going forward, the leaders. So on the chat again.
Yes, you receive.
So what do you think about his leadership style?
People have written intricate timing and mind-blowing.
Okay.
Looks serious conducting.
Okay. Articulate.
Articulate.
He was giving the cues, which I noticed. Perfect. Energetic, aggressive, brilliant, Kanak. He's in sync. I didn't understand sync, but yeah. You got the gist of it. So didn't he come across as commanding?
Yes.
He was in control. Okay, which came across in some words as aggression. Exactly. He looked very clear in his communication. Maybe too clear. Well, and I'll come to why I say too clear. It means that he, in an orchestra, he is saying that I am in command and you have to do what I say, right? And I'm not going to give you any scope for, doing your own things here. So he is in command. And you know, when Muthi was asked why does he conduct it, this is style. If you go to YouTube and watch any of his things, this is how he does it. When he was asked why does he do it like this, and you know, he's not giving space to the musicians, he said, because I am responsible at the end of the day. And as a side story, I'll tell you, he was a leader of 700 musicians. They resigned en masse. La Scala musicians, they made a en masse resignation.
Oh.
Greatest conductor. Now, why? Because they felt they were not developing. Because this guy was not giving them thing. He changed later on, and that's another story. I'm not getting into that. So he had his logic of being command and being responsible, and therefore his style. But there is a flip side to that style.
True.
Let's look at a different style now. Next video. We get the picture. Thanks. So what do you think is about this guy's style? Incidentally, he's Richard Strauss. He's German conductor, considered the successor to Wagner. He's a composer. He writes his own music, and one of the brilliant guys of the Nazi era. Okay, yeah, with that background. So what do you think of his polite and calm, composed? You don't think that I chose him because he's looking old. That's not the point.
Okay.
Total focus without any diversions.
Okay.
His body language didn't match the music which was being played.
Okay.
Great answers. So, you know, Strauss's style was that he let it happen by itself. He says, what is there to interpret? It's all there written in the music. Like the board says, their processes are defined. No, you have to play by the book. I mean, there are companies running, everybody's job is known, the systems are defined. Your job is to come and implement those systems. What is there to lead and interpret and, you know, do your own thing? What shit is that? It can only disturb the music, is the interpretation. So think of people who lead like that. And please don't suggest that one is better than the other. The idea is to be able to see where you relate, where you see other people relating. That's the end outcome that I'm looking for. Okay. Don't look at it which is better than the other. That's not the point. They're all great and they're all successful. But the point in an organization is that, you know, there are leaders who will say, my job is to deliver what has been instructed. And if I can do that efficiently and brilliantly, I'm great. And so are you. So that's another style of leadership. Let's look at the next video. Herbert von Karajan, an Austrian conductor. again, same question. What do you think? What do you think he was trying to do? Fluent, okay.
I feel more specific and focused, closing his eyes.
Specific focus, closing his eyes. You know, his hands movements were very gradual. He was, you know, there is a humor in this. Sometimes it's the lack of clarity in his thing. You know, people are, you say, "Aa jao, tab tumko aana hai." You know, now you do this. They're all great guys. Huh? Don't mistake me for that. And
Yeah.
he does not want to give clear directions. He wants to give space to the musicians. So they look at each other and they look at how to, so that one team is look at the other team and working in sync. And why is the eyes closed? When he was asked, you know, his eyes are closed. He said, music is in my mind.
Okay.
So, and you have to guess what is in my mind. You have seen leaders like that. They will not tell you clearly what they will want, but yet you like working for them because you want to guess what is there in their minds and deliver as per that. They're giving you space to come in and do your own stuff. But they don't give clear directions. They know what they want. The music is perfectly laid out in their mind, but the direction is not coming across to you in ABCD, like the first one, the Muti that you saw, who's very clear in his approach. But these people whose musicians all resigned. Now this guy is giving space, but not giving clear directions, which gives space for people to develop and perform. They're not producing less music. So, he's also exercising control, but it's a very different kind of control, spiritual kind of control. Okay, let's go on to the next type of leadership. Guy called Austrian conductor again, Carlos Kleiber. Thanks, Manish. So, how do you think he is controlling? What is he doing?
Okay. They would answer dancing.
Enthusiasm in people, enjoying and being with them, brilliant. Joy, bringing joy to the team.
True.
I don't know if you noticed at one point of time, he kind of held his, let me put on the light, otherwise.
Yes, yes. I was about to say that. Sir. We just turn on the light, it will be helpful. Sure. Yeah. That's great. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So, what are the others? Joyfully, yeah. So obviously, it's a happy kind of a place, his creation. And if you notice at one point of time, he was doing like this. You know, it was a way of complimenting that guy. My God, you've done a tremendous job. So this is controlled in a different way, where he's put everybody in a space where he can put in their interpretation. The process is what is keeping everything together. So everybody feels that they are a partner in this game. So this is control through partnership, through creating partnership within the teams. Of course, this guy has sanction, authority to sanction. If he's complimented, he could have just shown his eyes to that guy and he would have realized that he's made a mistake. So having the authority is one thing. And of course, you have to exercise the use of that authority where it is needed. So he is there, but he's not commanding. He's not in a commanding style. He's enjoying, as somebody says.
True.
So he not only creates the processes, but he also creates the conditions in which the processes take place. That's the role of the leader. So create the process, of course, but you have to also create the conditions of the partnership under which those processes can blossom and everybody can blossom. So he is in control. He's in total control. So here is the partnership which is bringing around brilliant music. Okay, so that's another way you can look at leadership situation.
Perfect.
It's gone to a totally different one.
Yes.
That's my personal favorite. So this was Lenny Bernstein, American conductor, one of the all-time greats. And as a leader, what do you think? Now, somebody said he has conducted enough rehearsals and is now chilling. Okay, that's one way of looking at it. Of course, they have conducted all the ones, even the earlier ones have conducted huge rehearsals. So it does not. So it's not that they are appearing on stage and performing for the first time. But there are some stories on that. I'll save that for another time. But
True.
so it starts from the meaning.
Correct.
Okay, of the organization. Contrast his face with Mooty's face, the first guy. He didn't even have a baton. So now it's the teams which are telling the story for this guy. So he has reached a stage of leadership, obviously, where he is just enabling the teams to perform and perform in a manner which is blended, which is cohesive, and somebody said through immense rehearsals, but also through a lifetime of his own leading. Okay, where the teams are perfect and the pride that the leader takes in the team is very obvious, right? And he's communicating that I'm you guys, I love you guys. I mean, he's not saying that, but his expression is saying that I love you guys. If I can just come and hug you. That's what he's saying.
Correct.
Not think of leaders like that in your own life. And so this is where people can work towards and aspire to be. Don't start from this position. Very few people will start from this position, but will reach this position. So once they are there, it's the teams which are performing. Everybody's there. In a sense, they're performing for him. He's as good as why they are doing what they're doing. And so he's like a pillar which is just there for the organization.
Okay. Perfect.
So that is different styles which I've tried to bring out through various kinds of things. Now, only one thing I want to tell you in this: what happened to the customers, that is the audience? In a Western symphony orchestra, the tradition is that, a tradition of the requirement, really, so to speak, is the audience keeps quiet. I mean, you're not even allowed to cough. I mean, it's considered bad manners to even allowed to cough. Okay. And so there is a sort of a gap in that where the metaphor sort of breaks down a little bit. But yes, some companies get removed from the customer, where the leaders get caught up in their own companies and their own style so much that the customer, for whom everything here is fine, everybody's enjoying, so that's the way things happen. You know, say, ये industry इस तरह चलती है, 50 साल से चल रही है, अभी भी चलेगी.
Correct.
You know, that is very often, particularly people who have spent years in the same industry will come and say, right?
True.
Now, while I know many of you are not followers of Western symphony orchestras, but just take a guess that if a Western classical music concert is to be played, in which country and for the young people, okay, where would you think the young people orchestra, the best young people's orchestra would come from? Obviously, we are talking about European music.
From you.
Any guesses which country? I'm looking for which country would the best young people's orchestra, where it is? US, Germany. US has a lot of money, maybe there. Germany, European, Japan, because a lot of these people were Germany, France, Europe. Yeah. But you know, I'll cut the suspense.
So we have one more, India.
Oh, India. No, it's not India. Okay. Yeah, we have our own brand of music. We can talk about that as a metaphor somewhere else. It's a very individualist style. Okay. So I will talk about it in some other forum.
Yeah.
But America, no, I'll just say it really comes from a South American country called Venezuela. Okay. And the last video I'm going to play for you is from a guy called Gustavo Dudamel. Today, the youngest beacon in the horizon in this field. And he's the music director of the LA Philharmonic Orchestra in Los Angeles today. Okay. Let's see him. Also a follower of Leonard Bernstein. Gustavo.
Wow.
So what happened here?
Or they've written a chat box.
Yeah.
Most of them.
Audience more involved, yeah, obvious. He engages with customers on his own team also. He changed the rules of the game.
Yes. True.
Right? So the music is the same. It's no different than from his own guru, Lenny Bernstein. He's a follower of Lenny Bernstein. So here, the lesson here is totally now here you've got the customer involved. Every rule in the book is broken. And yet, it's a great thing with the young people are relating to today. So as much as you may get caught up in your own company, in your own leadership, and your own perfection of your own styles, and you're hoping to reach Lenny Bernstein's level, you know, the guy who did Only by the Space, they will come a Steve Jobs, they will come a Jeff Bezos, they will come a startup who will change the rules of the game, where the same leadership rules will not apply. So by the time you are perfected and figured out what the real leader is going to supposed to do, somebody will come and say, to hell with you. These are not what we want, what works. I will tell you what works now.
True.
So often leaders, as much as the leadership is all about leading a team and watching the dynamics, making them get together, you have to watch out for what's happening in the environment. And you have to adapt to that environment with the changing dynamics of the market.
True.
So this my net, if I may to summarize what I said, the last hour or so I've exceeded my time, sorry,
Yes,
is
okay.
that firstly, through observation, through your self-analysis, through practicing leadership, you can improve and develop your own leadership style. A leader, don't try and become another leader just because you read a book which says that is the best leader to be. Or somebody came and heard a talk that these are what constitutes good leadership. Or this, and if I get that good leadership concepts, I will succeed. I don't think it works that way. I think practiced leadership, which is your own individual leadership style. Of course, that has to become better. It has to become more partnership oriented. Finally, reach Lenny's level in your own way. Define your own leadership style rather than look for 5 habits and 4 Ks.
True.
And this can happen through observation, through your own mechanism, to relating to people. Leadership is, yes, about inspiring. Yes, it's about motivation. It's about all those things which we talked about. But it's all about, there's not one leadership style. There's no one answer to this whole game. Is what I wanted to leave the thought with. I would be happy to have any questions or any comments. You can unmute, I suppose, at this stage.
Great. Yes, definitely, sir. That's been a very different and innovative way of explaining leadership models or how leadership can be. And you are actually inspiring us to be saying that create your own leadership model just by observing, just go more deeper in terms of practicing. So very nice to share. So definitely, yes, members, you get an opportunity now to ask questions to Dr. Anuj. So,
you can even share your experience. I don't even have to see. I don't have the answers. You know, I can share. I'll discuss with you honestly. If I had all the answers, I'd be a Gandhi.
I have problem with my camera, so can I just ask the question?
Yeah, sure, Rajiv. Rajiv,
yeah, that's okay. Please go ahead.
No, actually, whatever you are saying is very, very interesting, and it's the ideal way to go about it. But my only issue is that organizations, most of the organizations, they are still in that first video kind of mindset. So even if you want to develop your own style, they will not, the climate is still somewhere else. I feel the wrong kind of more and more number of wrong people are in leadership positions. And anyone who wants to get ahead, he will look at those people and say, this is what I need to do, and not try out any of these other methods or videos which you showed.
Yeah, I'd say, see, as I said, there is not one style, and I'm not even saying the Muti style is a bad style. He said, I'm responsible for delivery. Okay?
Correct.
Therefore, I will do everything which is in my control to make sure that thing is delivered. And that is normally, particularly in family-owned companies and in other companies also, you see that style very often, where the top pervasive style prevails rather than giving space for people to evolve their own styles. Okay. I don't have an answer to that. Neither I have a pretense that I can change those people. It is for you to decide as to whether you would like this. Mutti 700 people resigned. I'm not saying you resign, but I'm saying that if the discomfort level becomes too high, where you get suffocated, or if you are the leader, if your team gets suffocated, it may lead to unintended consequences.
Yes.
Correct.
So there has to be space for people to develop in any leadership style. If you're not giving that space, you may do it phase-wise, you can do it over a period of time. That's an individual style issue. But yes, but as I told you in the Sonu Nigam's thing, Sonu Nigam's style is so different than the conductor style. So Sonu Nigam is not imposing his style onto the conductor. But they're both producing great music. And of course, in the hierarchy of things, Sonu Nigam in that setting was at a higher level.
Yeah,
But
because
the
music, I mean, the basic music was from his side. I mean,
basic music.
that advantage.
No, it was his show.
Yes.
So it is the CEO's show at the end of the day. Okay. So he decides whether I need a person who is trained in Indian classical music. You know, he could have produced it very differently, as you said, Rajiv, that recruited his clone, and we would have another one of those same Rafi performance which we all seen of it. No, they're not bad performances, right? Where you have the Indian violinists playing, and you know there's a whole orchestra. But then that's nothing wrong with that. They also are entertaining and nice. But then he's not creating a different organization. We should not stretch the metaphor too far. Also, there's a danger in that. I mean, metaphor is only a metaphor to help us learn. It's not to say that there is every place there is a 1:1 parallel. But if to learn through these mechanisms.
Right.
And the reason I chose this metaphor because it did not involve the two main attributes of personality and oratory, which a lot of leaders use to enthuse.
Right.
So that's the reason I chose this metaphor. But metaphor is only a metaphor at the end of the day, nothing more than that.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Great. Thanks, Rajiv, for asking the question. That's been really great. So other members and visitors, definitely we give you an opportunity to ask more questions. But before we get into the questions, let's have a quick quiz. And the quiz is very important. I'm sure you all might have enjoyed one of the different way of exploring leadership within our own selves. But Dr. Anuj had asked one question as, where do you think, in which country do you think the youngest musicians in future is going to be part of? So, and he told the country's name. So, which is the country's name? What is the country's name? There are many people answering, and I already have seen that. Just a minute. Wow, Shantaram is the person who has typed it first, saying that Venezuela. That's great. Thank you very much, Shantaram, for typing it and being a very quick and fastest fingers first, keeping it ready to answer it. Wonderful. We would request you to kindly unmute yourself, Shantaram. Thanks very much, and we will give you an opportunity. But before we share it also, hey, Shantaram, unmute yourself, please. Yeah, you've got the opportunity to unmute, then please go ahead and unmute. Yes. Thanks very much, Shantaram. So how do you kindly introduce yourself, Shantaram, and if you have any questions, and congratulations, Shantaram, that you have been receiving a quiz, a prize today, and I'll tell you who is going to be giving it to us also, and that's when we have Mr. Vincent Baby with us. So Mr. Vincent Baby is the book of the week. Is actually for this week we're going to bring him here, and Mr. Vincent Baby is around 24 years of experience, and he runs his own company called Enzo Life. Spouse name is Tricia Vincent, and she's a housewife. Vincent has son named Naveen and a daughter Niyantra. They both are working and studying, and definitely, in fact, one of the hobbies of Vincent is listening to music. And I'm sure, Vincent, you might have enjoyed today. And favorite sport is swimming, and location from Trivandrum. So, Vincent, Thanks very much for being in here, the book of the week, and offering your book to Mr. Shantaram. So we will actually listen just for 1 minute about your book's glimpse. What is the book all about, which you have published, which is 101 Stories of Blissful Workplace. So over to you, Vincent, baby. Just share about your book in 1 minute's time. Kindly unmute yourself and turn on your camera as well.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much, Prakash, and thank you so much, Dr. Anuj. The name of my book is 101 Stories of...
I will kindly stop sharing so that we will be able to see Mr. Vincent. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Mr. Vincent.
The name of the title of the book is 101 Stories of Blissful Workplace. In fact, it is real life stories. I worked in Maldives, Seychelles, Cambodia, and UAE. This is my experience in the areas of customer service, global hospitality industry. I worked more than 2 decades. So this is the experience. I got it from the customer service areas and the employees areas. For most of my career, I was working in the human resources and training departments of various international brands. So this is all the stories are depicted here in 101 under the name of 101 Stories of Blissful Workplace. My target audience is MSME owners and leaders. So my role is to help them to improve their customer satisfaction index to the desired level. So this is a reference book for managers, owners, as well as the new employees.
Great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Vincent, baby. That's really been great and been part of the book of the week. And Shantaram, definitely congratulations, Shantaram, for receiving the book. 101 Stories of Blissful Workplace is what you'll be receiving, Shantaram. Great.
Thank you, Prakash. I'm looking forward to reading that book.
Yes. So Shantaram and Vincent, do you have any questions to our guest, Dr. Anuj? And if you have, please feel free to ask our guest now.
Okay, I just want to add, so that was a beautiful presentation. Nobody has actually correlated symphony music with leadership skills. I mean, you actually spoke about the limitations in leadership as well, and finally, whatever we learn, and then bringing about our own style into the work. This was something new. I was always thinking about it, but the way you articulated, I really admire it. Thank you so much.
Great, great. Kindly introduce yourself, Shantaram, so that other members also know you.
Okay, my name is Shantaram, and I'm working as a finance and accounts manager in a company called Hunger Rush.
Great.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Shantaram. That's nice being with you here.
Thank
Great.
you. Thank you.
So any other questions, members and visitors, please feel free to ask any questions. If all done, I understand we have exceeded the time today, but that's okay, as it is more and more interesting, and I'm sure you all might have loved it. That's been really great. So good. So on that note, let's maybe from my side, let me quickly summarize. In the meantime, other people have any questions, feel free to ask them and keep it ready so that you can ask Dr. Anuj. Either you can type in the chat box how you felt about the episode today. Please feel free to write in your chat box your feedback. That will always help Dr. Anuj to see it. As well as if you have any questions, please feel free to type. So Dr. Anuj, let me quickly summarize here wonderful aspects and insights. Today, I really enjoyed the episode, a different, insightful, a very innovative way of looking at leadership. That's what I understand from unleading. That means unleading to lead. Here is where you're talking about, generally we all understand the concept of leadership, but when to make the other person lead and when to step out. These orchestra people, from them is where we start learning. Wonderful, excellent examples which have been sharing from different, all the symphony, and we are able to understand the points, right from the people, the conductor who's going more very aggressive, from the right, all the styles have been explaining, the leader who's been more aggressive, the leader who's more following the process and styles, the leader who is actually also more appreciating. Definitely a lot of different videos, and we're able to understand. The essence from this episode, what I have received is, yes, leadership is a process and every person is a leader. Start observing your own self, start connecting with your own self, and keep practicing more and more to become better, so that you have your own way of leadership, and it's just not that only certain processes or mantras will only always apply and that is only success mantra. Not necessary. We ourselves can do so. So that's the summary which I really like it. I'm connecting it to unlead to lead. This is where we are starting to learn. We've been listening to all the conversations. The purpose why he shared, the Dr. Anuj is, we have been all these 37 episodes, we've been more of a question answer session, all the challenges were shared, and then we've been listening to all the solutions from different leaders. That's when Dr. Anuj decided, saying that, let me take it a little differently, but it's going to be unlead to lead, so that we will be able to have more insights about within our own selves. So yes, it is helping us more and more detail. So thanks very much for sharing that. And is there any questions? I'll be happy, or not, I'll hand it over to Mr. Yugender to quickly go ahead and share his views and share also the objective of this particular community. Go ahead, Yugender.
Yes, rightly said by Mr. Prakash.
Yes, the
Today's session
person has a
was.
question, I believe.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt. Actually, it's not a question. Myself,
Please,
Devran. Good evening. Thanks, Dr. Anuj, and maybe a kind of a feeler what I can share. With people say that unlearn to learn, right? Maybe we have to unlearn to learn new things. Similarly, we need to unlead so that to pick up a different leadership style, right? And
I would say that you need to unlead. What is meant here is that you have to give space to others to lead at the right time.
Yeah.
So you still remain the leader. Just because you are relinquishing that little bit of control to let somebody else lead within your team is not a bad thing.
True, very good. That's what maybe sometimes we need to just take a back seat and then allow them so that we'll see their performances. It's a very good, interesting, thing which we have learned today. And thanks for the session, Dr. Anuj.
Thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Devaran, for sharing the same. So yes, over to you again. That quickly can kindly share about the few aspects of next week's episode as well as our objective. Go ahead.
Thank you. And as rightly said by Mr. Prakash, today's episode is little different compared to the earlier episodes, as we have seen lot of videos and we have learned different type of leadership styles. So instead of following others' leadership styles, we can be our own leader. So this is what it's touching to me. And before me sharing about the next week leader, let me quickly share again the purpose of the community. For the visitors who are attending for the first time, Leaders Connect is an online leadership community where every week on Wednesday from 6:30 p.m. to 7:15 p.m. we invited top management leader from a reputed corporate company to share the solutions for our real-time leadership challenge, either on leading self, leading others, or leading your business, like how you have seen today, Dr. Anuj. And the Leaders Connect online leadership community does not stop in sharing the solutions alone every week, but we also have a reflection episode to track the learning and convert it to an action plan on the last Wednesday of every month. That's when we call it as Leaders Create More Leaders. If you wish to join our community, please click on the WhatsApp group link, which is in your chat box. And you will be able to join us to receive weekly updates or call us on the number shared on the WhatsApp, and then we will add you in your community. We believe and trust in potential of every human being who can constantly grow, but growth is in oneself as how and whom you spend your time. For the members, do remember to write your learning and action plan in your respective login credentials shared with you. Now, I would like to thank Dr. Anuj Kakar spending your valuable time in sharing your experience solutions.
Great.
Thank you. Pleasure being here.
Yes. So thanks very much, Dr. Anuj. That's been really great. So it's been a nice time you have taken. Thanks for taking your time being in here with us. And I'm sure we all have got learnings. So members, only one request, go back. Definitely we've got the learnings. Let's keep these learnings on our Leaders Connect platform, as you get told. Kindly share your learnings and the action plan, because the next week is the Reflection 6.0, where we will be happy to listen more about how you're able to demonstrate. As Mr. Dr. Anuj has shared, it's more about observing yourself. It's more about reflecting your own self. That's what reflection session 6.0 is all about. So let's do that. I'm sure each one of us are leaders here. We all will be creating more leaders. So thanks very much, Dr. Anuj. And thanks very much, Mr. Vincent Baby, for your kind gesture, also being here and sharing all these points to us. So thank you one and all, and meet you all again next week. Thank you. Thank you.
Have a
Thank
safe
you
and
all.
great week
Thank you
ahead.
all.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you all.
Let's meet again next week. Thank you.